Hey, today I'm talking about 3 Italian horror films, and the names of those 3 films are The Playgirls and the Vampire, the original Suspiria, and An Angel for Satan. First up is The Playgirls and the Vampire. This is a 1960 film that is amazing. I was really blown away by how much I enjoyed this movie, truly enjoyed. The basic premise is this group of performers, so the Playgirls is play actors, like that kind of thing, not like Playboy, it's like performers. They're traveling, and they get caught in a storm and end up having to take refuge in a castle that has a bit of a mystery to it. And even though this movie is definitely filled with lots of tropes and stuff, and you can sort of see how the movie's going, it's a lot of fun, so you don't care that you can kind of predict some things. I don't think I predicted the ending or the body count, because the movie's just like, it's having so much fun. It's surprisingly acted really well, especially for like the dubs, and then like it's shot well, the story's interesting, and like they did a good job of presenting the mystery well and have it be an engaging mystery and give a satisfying conclusion to the mystery, and the characters that are developed are really interesting. So I definitely put this in the really liked and would definitely recommend it. I do have complaints. I would say it kind of lost a bit of steam in the second half. The mystery was sort of resolved. They didn't really develop all of the Playgirls, which was a bit annoying because there were a lot of characters and they were interesting, but they just kind of were there, not doing anything. And then the guy who played the vampire wasn't the strongest of the group. But that being said, I could easily put all those things aside because overall the movie was really, really solid. And honestly, this is like super prime pickings for a remake because like it's a very simple story, a very simple mystery, but with the correct execution, you could turn this into something really great. And it'd be so easy to just like expand on it, like giving more depth to the other characters and kind of switching some of the roles around. And probably using the original Italian name, which is Last Victim of the Vampire, which is such a great name. Yeah, no, it's just a good, solid, spooky, fun time movie. Next up is Suspiria. This is a 1977 film with some maybe ballerina witches, perhaps? Maybe? Who knows? And it's pretty good. I have seen the remake of this movie, and honestly, the remake was one of my top 10 favorite movies that I watched in 2020. So yeah, this movie kind of had its work cut out for it, and I put it in the quite liked. So it's basically a 4 out of 5. I did still enjoy it a good solid amount. It was an interesting movie, interesting take on this material, but just, I don't know, like the remake just did so many things so well, and it just worked so well for me on so many different levels that it was kind of impossible for this movie to live up to that. So like, it was an uphill battle. And it was still good. It was still interesting. And I would honestly recommend this movie. And normally with like where this is ranked, I would be like singing praises for this movie left and right. But I just like the other ones so much more that I'm like, yeah, I recommend this one, but I really recommend the remake. It's so freaking good and ridiculous and crazy and just amazing, and I love it so much. Yeah, it's so good. This was good too, just not at the same caliber. And lastly is An Angel for Satan. I picked this movie because that name is so metal and I love it a lot. The movie itself didn't really care for. It stars Barbara Steele, who is a gothic horror classic, and the basic premise is that there is this statue that was pulled out of a lake, and the statue may be cursed, and the town people are all afraid of the statue, and bad stuff's happening, and it's probably the statue's fault. So like the first movie I talked about, this movie is definitely filled with lots of tropes, but unlike the first one, it's slow and filled with unlikable characters. So there was nothing to really get me through the tropes. It was just the tropes and other unpleasant stuff. So I really didn't care for it. I mean, just like Barbara's character is just a woman being really mean and manipulative and awful. Like, I get the reason why everything's happening, and that is kind of interesting, but by that point I didn't super care, so it didn't really bring me back on anything. I will say the movie did look good, so it definitely has that going for it, but it just didn't really work for me on kind of any level. So yeah, didn't really care for this movie. I don't recommend it, though that is a really bitchin' title. Alrighty, now for today's rankings, first up we have The Playgirls and the Vampire, sitting at number 57 in the really liked section. And then after that is Suspiria, 1977, sitting at number 121 in the quite like section. And then bringing up in the rear, rightfully so, is An Angel for Satan, sitting at number 212 in the didn't like category. And this is out of a total of 231 old movies so far this year.